Are you trying to out-tall me this morning, Phillip?
Yep.
I just noticed you got like a foot tall. Oh, stop it. All of a sudden, I looked like a midget again.
I have a cat under my feet.
All right, good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Get started on the finally Friday morning show with Phillip Dutton. Good morning, Phillip. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
So, you have a cat under your foot?
No, I was saying I don't have a cat under my feet, so I can, move around.
Oh, yeah. I had to adjust the camera because I couldn't adjust the chair because there's an old cat by my feet. And, does not like to be stepped on. All right. All right, getting things fired up this morning. Think we're live on Facebook, the website at kchw.org, both audio and video, and the YouTubes, as I like to call them. And we've got Phillip Dutton. We were talking before we went on the air. Phillip, your signal has been so much better over the past month and a half, and and we're going to attribute that to Elon Musk.
Yeah, shockingly enough. It's been great. Just all around, now that I've gotten a chance to use it multiple different times and with different applications and stuff, it's really been something that has been worth it, even though it's not the cheapest of the internets.
All right. And what does he call that? Is it Starlink, Starband? No, Starband's the old one.
No, yeah, you're right. It's the first one, Starlink.
Starlink? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've just noticed good reception from you. A lot of times before, when you were, I guess, hardlined, we would get some dropout and that digital dropout and stuff, but it's been so much better. And you were saying even in the worst of times in the evening, when there's high demand and stuff, that you've noticed maybe a little slowdown, but you're still like 4 times faster than you were before?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't even tell you, just from like a device standpoint, using my computer. I was just talking to you before the show about how I was looking at new computers and stuff, but once the internet was running at its proper speed, I noticed how much snappier my computer was. I didn't realize how everything was getting kind of bogged down by it trying to like force load these web pages.
I totally get that, because I get I've had friends complain before. Would you look at my computer, because it's running really slow, and it's not their computer, it's their browser that's running slow, and a lot of times that's dependent on your internet connection and how fast your browser is going to go. With those fiber optics that we have at the studio, it's really nice when you've got a good computer. You can literally click on a web page and it doesn't populate. You know how sometimes the web page comes up white and then things start appearing? When you click on a link and the page opens, it's all there. There's no waiting. I mean, it's instantaneous, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's some of the things you get so used to having it not work well that when you finally get to see it in action, you're like, oh, this must be what everybody else experiences.
So now, living in Addie, we should point out that for people in the outlying areas, this is kind of like a new option, although it is more expensive than the rest of them. But if you're looking for really a good internet, and you're especially out in the Tules, you got a mountain home, this is a good option, I would think.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest difference, because obviously hopefully I'm not going too far into like the sales pitch, but the biggest difference obviously is that there's other satellite internet providers, but because those satellites are so low in orbit, the low latency is a big deal, so it makes things real in terms of like, doing things over Zoom like we are now, or if you're an online gamer or what have you. But the other satellite providing internet companies piggyback off of cell phone satellites that are much further out in the
space.
Space, yeah. I was like, galaxy? No, space.
All right. Very cool. All right. But definitely, yeah, we're not promoting it. We're just talking geek stuff here. There you go. All right.
Yep,
All right.
for sure.
All right. I need to. My computer's flashing at me. I'm using too much system resources because I've got like I don't know, almost maybe even 20 tabs open right now. So let's close a few of those. The first one that takes up a lot of resources on your browser is looking at the weather with all those graphs and constant updating. And in Chihuahua right now, you're looking at 78 for a high today. Mix of clouds and sun during the morning. Give way to cloudy skies in the afternoon. Still going to stay warm, though, with that high at 78. Enjoy your last few days of this Indian summer. 48 for an overnight low. Cloudy skies this evening, becoming partly cloudy after midnight. Now, Saturday, you've got a partly cloudy day. High back up to 79. 45 for an overnight low. Sunday is all sunshine. 79 and 45. Monday looking at 76 with mostly sunny skies. And then you drop down into, well, now they've upgraded. You were going to be like upper 60s, low 70s. And now Tuesday I see 70, Wednesday 72, Thursday 74, Friday 74. Next weekend 75, both days with sunshine. So you guys are still getting some incredible weather for at least another 2 weeks. I'm so jealous. So
It's
jealous.
been awesome.
Wow, what a great beginning of fall in Chihuahua. That is just totally amazing. Probably not the water you guys need still, but still totally amazing. All right. I actually get to see a high today of 71, but we've got a good chance of rain. And then my temperatures all next week in the 50s. Oh, it's horrible. All right.
Wow.
Makes me wish I was home in a way.
It makes a huge difference, especially with like all the there's been a lot of community events and outdoor activities going on lately, and I mean, just top notch weather.
Yeah, phenomenal for last week's fall festival. Yeah,
For sure.
incredible. All right, run down a few headlines before we get into the fun stuff. Ukraine, we'll start there today. Racing down a road with his men in pursuit of retreating Russian soldiers. A battalion commander came across an abandoned Russian armored vehicle. Its engine still running, and inside, sniper rifles, rocket-propelled grenades, helmets, and belongings they could use.
Whoa.
Yeah, according to the commander who uses the code name SWAT, they dropped everything, personal care, helmets, and so on. He says, I think it was a special unit, but they were panicking. It was raining hard, the road was bad, and they dropped everything and took off. Another story, kind of along the same veins this morning, in an intercepted communication which the Ukraine ministry posted on the website Telegram. One of the invaders can be heard complaining to his wife about the unbearable situation in Ukraine and being under constant fire. He said, "We've had 65 soldiers just disappear," which prompts the question, where did they go, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got the
Where
answer
are
for
they?
that. He went on to say the soldiers just arrived and then they disappeared the next day. So this is part of his 300,000 troops, I guess he's sending in. Ukraine has launched phone hotlines and websites through which newly mobilized and regular Russian soldiers can obtain instructions on how to surrender safely. I love the internet. And I guess that's all thanks to Elon Musk, too, putting those free satellites above Ukraine so they could have some internet.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's funny. Here's how you can drop your guns and surrender safely. Also, a boat, I guess, landed in Alaska with soldiers that were drafted wanting asylum. So that's cool. And along those same lines, hot on the heels of these embarrassing reports of Russian recruits fighting each other and defecting, Moscow loyalists calling for Kremlin ministers to kill themselves. It seems the rage against Vladimir Putin's handling of the invasion of Ukraine is now openly being conveyed to the man himself by members of his own inner circle and cabinet, which means some of those could be disappearing as well.
Yeah, a different kind of disappearing, probably, though.
Different kind of disappearing. All right. But maybe, and of course the fear, as they were saying at the end of the news, we haven't had this much fear of nuclear war since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that's the scary part. As he continues to fail and Ukraine does better, it's scary for the rest of the planet. Because once you launch even a low-yield nuclear weapon, you've poisoned everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I hope they stop them. All right. In the good news department, if you are on Social Security, they're looking at the COLA this year, which is the cost of living adjustment of 9%, which means retired workers getting Social Security going to get an extra $150 a month. Spouses of retired workers, an extra $75 a month. Survivors of passed away people, extra $119 a month. Disabled workers, an extra $122 a month coming next year on your Social Security check. So there's some good news there. Probably not enough to keep up with deflation, or inflation, I should say. The inflation came out deflation. All right, so, but definitely a help with things getting more expensive. Don't laugh at me, Phillip.
Sorry, it's funny.
In horrible news, just, I guess, proof that America is not the only place of mass shootings. A horrible mass shooting. I don't know if you heard this morning. I really don't even want to say it. It's so horrible, but I guess people need to know. It was in Thailand at a daycare. 23 people, mostly little kids, including a pregnant teacher. And then in Las Vegas, now proving that it's not just guns. 2 people are dead, 6 others injured in a stabbing spree outside of a Las Vegas casino yesterday. 3 victims in critical condition. Another 3 survivors were in stable condition Thursday night. This is according to Las Vegas police. The victims included both locals and tourists. Sheriff Joseph Lombardo said during a press briefing yesterday that the initial stabbing, which took place around 11:40 in the morning local time, occurred on the sidewalk along Las Vegas Boulevard. It appears to have been unprovoked. The suspect then proceeded south and stabbed 5 more victims, and then an additional victim on Sands Avenue. He said it's unclear where the 8th victim was stabbed at, but these just apparently some guy walking down the street attacking people. And then, this is a situation where it's too bad one of them didn't have a gun. Just saying. I mean, we're going nuts, people. Mellow out. All right. On the word of Donald Trump, top Justice Department official said former President Donald Trump's lawyers in recent weeks that the department believed he has still not returned all of the documents. I don't know how they know that, but they say they still think he's hiding more stuff. So
yeah, they must have a pretty good idea of what he took.
Yeah, they must have had a good idea of what should have been there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not clear what steps they might take to retrieve any further materials that it thinks Trump still has his hands on. But, if there was some super important ones that he thought were valuable in one way or another, they probably were hidden somewhere else too. I mean, it would stand to reason with everything they found. So, all right. I won't guesstimate. Other news, there's so much news over the nighttime. President Biden, marijuana pardons. So anybody that's now, this is the caveat in this. It isn't decriminalizing marijuana possession, but anybody who's been arrested for marijuana possession, not dealing, not trafficking, by the federal government is now going to be pardoned. And this is huge. It's going to, it's not tens of thousands, but it's thousands of people across the country that have federal charges. And once you've been hit with something like that, it can keep you from getting a job. It can keep you from being able to rent an apartment. And President Biden was very vehement about this being important and getting those off the books for people convicted of these minor marijuana crimes. So that's kind of exciting. Is it now? It takes Congress to make it legal or to decriminalize it. But it's got to be close. We've got 19 states with recreational marijuana laws and another 38 with medical marijuana laws. There's only a couple states that are holding out. It's like Idaho and Indiana. Even North Dakota has medical marijuana, which being born in North Dakota, that kind of surprises me. And with they're really hardcore there. They won't wear a mask for nothing. Even through COVID and stuff. So I'm surprised they took this step for medical marijuana as well. Along those same storylines, researchers at UCLA and a UCLA startup called Electrotech testing a cannabinoid fuel cell. This is not for a car. This is for your breath. It's a breathalyzer that cops will be able to use. And they say they're really, really close to coming up with a marijuana breathalyzer.
Interesting. That has to be a challenge, that because everything changed, or it seemed like it changed kind of quickly. Like, you can still be driving under the influence even though it's not alcohol.
Yes.
I wonder what kind of challenges that posed to law enforcement to try to deduce which be like flipping through a classic manual of like signs of people that are under the influence of pot or
Well,
whatever.
if they're eating potato chips the whole time and the officer's talking to them, that's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
If they're standing still at a green light, that's probably a good sign. And
That's what I was gonna say.
it's kind of the opposite because people that are drunk want to drive fast, which doesn't make any sense because it's such a downer, but it's true. And people that have been smoking pot want to drive really slow, apparently. Huh. All right, for my Republican friends out there that are so sick of Hunter Biden getting away with murder, as they see it, FBI months ago gathered what agents believed was sufficient evidence to charge Hunter Biden, the president's son, with crimes related to taxes and making false statements when purchasing a gun. Looks like they're going to be charging him. Evidence gathered by the FBI and IRS investigators was sent to the U.S. Attorney General's office in Delaware. All right. Also, going backwards, this is not one thing that has people upset about it. Since 2019, he's been under investigation, and a federal subpoena from that year obtained by CBS News sought Hunter Biden's bank records dating back to 2014 when Joe Biden was vice president. Investigators have examined whether Hunter Biden owes taxes on income from a controversial stint he had during his father's vice presidency as a board member of Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. He was being paid like massive amounts of dollars, and they really want to know why, because he didn't do anything. All right. Yeah. All right. I think last one. I kind of like this is in the it could be cool for global warming. In the Italian city of Naples, some climate change solutions may be as ancient as the coastal outpost itself, according to the researchers who are now studying the area's historic waterways and how they could bring relief from extreme heat as the world warms and used in other locations. Architects and design students in Italy and the U.S. are collaborating on an initiative to map the ancient aqueducts and water systems in Naples, known as the Cool City Project. The goal is to assess how these existing infrastructure, in some cases centuries old and hidden underground, could combat life-threatening heat waves in one of the most densely populated parts of Europe and one of the oldest cities in the world, as well as being incorporated into cities today. So that's kind of...
That is super cool.
It is, because all that water was flowing underneath the city. It's got to have a cool heating effect. And there's so many cities that are looking into this now, instead of blacktop, doing things in white. Doing them in cement, painting all the tops of buildings white. And there's been some test areas in big cities where they've seen a 6-degree drop in summer temperatures in the neighborhoods where they've painted these buildings white.
Interesting.
And using reflective surfaces, too. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I always wondered what, there's just looking at different neighborhoods, at least growing up in Western Washington, and some of the sidewalks and everything would all be white. I wonder if that had anything to do with it way back when, or if it's just something that's more recent.
Or if it was just a coincidence, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's all they had at the, sidewalk store. Oh, guess we're going with the white sidewalks. They're on sale.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We're looking at 7:43. Let's move on to those are all my news stories. Let's cover events coming up this weekend. Then we'll move on to bits and breaks. Having a little loading problem here, but I can do a couple of them from memory, of course, because they happen all the time. Let's see. We have today in the park. It is our farmers market. All right. Only a couple of these left. We had Brad Schaefer on Wednesday. That's a video you could go back and watch on YouTube or Facebook. He joined us at 8 o'clock. But a couple of the last farmers markets, you got one today, 11 to 3:30, and then next week again. And next week's we'll have the famous pumpkin bowling. Always fun. All right. Let's see. On Saturday, we have the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary Shot Clinic going on. And that goes from, move out of my way, 10 to noon. So just a couple hours to take advantage of that. Then in the afternoon at 4:30, doors open for the annual Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce dinner and auction. You have two choices for dinner on Wednesday. Mike Bent said there was some tickets left, so you could call the chamber office. I think they open at 9 on Fridays. They've got their meeting at the casino, but then the new gal will be in the office there. And then tickets at the regular places, too. Also, tickets for that famous raffle they do where they have over $1,500 of gift cards in a jar. All right, so there's tickets for that, too. It goes from 4:30 until 10 p.m. There's a silent auction and a live auction. And, folks, this is how the Chamber raises their money to promote Chihuahua and business in Chihuahua. So it's very important. And this is their annual fundraiser, and this is really the only one they do. So get out there, support them, bid like crazy. The live auction is always fun. It's Steve Mitzner. He's done it for years and years for him. He knows a lot of the people in Chihuahua, and not only is he an auctioneer, he's a stand-up comedian too. He'll keep you laughing. So it's like a show as well as an auction. Always a good time. I've been to a few of them myself. Once again, that Saturday, 4:30 to 10 at the Civic Center. All right.
Do you get like the little thing?
You do.
Like
you get a
bid?
car. It's an official auction, baby.
Man, I might have to just go for that.
Mm-hmm. And if you're into that kind of stuff, then next week on the 14th, you have pumpkin bowling and the final farmers market on Friday. And then on Saturday, you have another auction, and that's for Hands Across Nations. And that's an annual auction, too, to support efforts in Uganda. And so that'll be the following Saturday. So we have a couple auctions in a row, which is fun because they always get cool donations for them and stuff. So get out there and support those goodies. There you go. All right. On to bits and breaks. One of them I found this morning, Phillip, I thought was kind of fun. It was hotel hacks because this is the time of the year where people do traveling. As we come up on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you could be staying in a hotel. Now, this was off of Twitter and the Washington Post and BuzzFeed, kind of a conglomeration of ingenious hotel hacks shared by travelers. First one is if you can't find a free outlet or one with easy reach, there's probably a USB port on the hotel room TV set to use for charging your electronic devices.
Wow.
And I was just in a fancy hotel a few weeks ago, and a lot of them now have them on the lamp, like a USB port, and they didn't. And I couldn't charge my phone. There was not one in the room, and I didn't want to go back down to my car to get my adapter. I never thought of looking on the TV for USB.
Yeah.
If touching that TV remote seems scary with COVID, wrap it in the shower cap they give you or a plastic wrapper from the ice bucket. It's kind of a good idea. Because sometimes there are, how much do you trust the person that cleaned the room and disinfected it? You found gross things in a motel room, I'm sure, before. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No?
Trust them completely.
All right. A hotel desk or a chair too low, you can break out the ironing board and adjust its height to make a temporary workspace. Get your laptop up there. For me, I'd be like this.
I always tend to get the rooms that have them like built into the door, where it's just like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like it kind of is like a Murphy bed and it kind of pulls down and it only has two legs. And
then you have a little table, right?
Yeah, but you're stuck like working in the closet.
Huh. All right, let's see. Got dirty clothes, grab the dry cleaning bag from the closet. I've never done that, sent my clothes off at the hotel for dry cleaning. Does that mean I'm poor?
I don't know. Huh. Do you have a lot of clothes that need dry cleaning?
No. So does that mean I'm poor? Probably. Pull a hanger from the closet, use its pant or shirt clips to secure light leaking curtains in your room. That's good. Don't want anybody to spy in there.
I don't know. It seems like the hotels always have the best, like, heavy duty blackout curtains.
They usually do, and several
Or,
layers of them sometimes too.
yeah, it's like how many layers are to this onion?
And the last one was hotel room heating and air conditioning systems can be intense. Hack a humidifier to fight the dehydration. Hack a humidifier? Okay, soak a towel with water, wring it tightly so that it's not dripping, and then hang it over an ironing board in front of your room's vent or heater and add some moisture to the room.
All right.
All right. All right, Philip, what do you got on your end?
I was kind of looking at the first couple. Meh.
Probably skippers
Let's.
there, I thought, too. I did do like the one, though, and people could try this, and maybe we could both try it on camera. According to a study, 58% of people can lick their elbow.
Yeah.
There's no way. You would have to have a gene.
You can do it. Just
No,
try. Keep going.
I can't even get close. I can lick the inside of it. That's
That doesn't
disgusting.
count.
Yeah, not even close. All right, you'd have to have a Gene Simmons tongue. Now your turn. Come on, can you do it? Not even close. Yeah.
No.
So this was a sick joke. If you're trying it in your car while you're driving, stop. Stop that. Many will
Not
hear
the
this
car.
fact and will try it, but in fact, no one on the planet that we've uncovered so far, besides Gene Simmons, can lick their elbow. Right. If you can, please take a picture of it and post it on our Facebook page right now.
Yeah. 60% of the time, it works every time.
All right, Phillip Dutton with Never Go Cheap on these things. What is it, Phillip?
Yeah. There's just a couple. Yeah. Well, no, more than a couple. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. There's towels, headphones, work boots, shoes, bread, bras, toilet paper, mattresses. Well, there's more than a few.
Huh.
Olive oil, sheets and top sheets, vacuum cleaners, and luggage. I mean, I definitely can relate with a few of those items. Like headphones. Seems like every cheap one I have, the cord always breaks or something. So I had pretty good luck with my wireless ones, though.
What's the deal with headphones, though? They used to be reasonable. A good pair of headphones that cost you somewhere $50 to $100. Now you can buy a pair of Beats for $600. That's obscene.
Yeah, but aren't there like on the same side? Isn't there Beats that are $150?
I don't know because I'm still not spending $150. So I have two kinds of favorite headphones. One's a Koss from the early 90s, which sometimes, in fact, I have two pair that I found on Amazon as old stock, still in box. I think they call that NOS, new old stock. And I love those headphones, big can headphones and stuff. I don't wear them on the camera because they make you look really stupid. But if I'm doing production, for something else or maybe even something I'm getting paid for, something that's super important, and I want to make sure that it's crisp and clean, I'll wear those headphones. And these are old Sonys. You can still get these. I can't remember what the number is on them for about $50, but they are phenomenal. I'd put them up to any pair of Beats out there. And on a lot of, for broadcasting, a lot of the cheaper headphones, they might sound okay when you listen to music, but once you add the voice in there where it's voice only like what we're doing now, absolutely horrible. So,
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I have headphones that I like, but I actually have lots of headphones. I've never found one that I can use for all the things.
yeah.
Like I have headphones that I wear at the studio, and I have headphones that I wear for playing games, and and I have headphones for wearing that I listen to music with. So they're kind of all different, but none of them are that expensive either. So
I'm getting old because I just think it's ridiculous to spend money on something like that. And, for people that are buying $600 pair of Beats, you're like contributing to what's called bad capitalism. You're part of the problem. All right. Work boots, I get that one. Totally. And shoes. I mean, when you skimp out on shoes, you pay for it when you walk.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you're buying that same cheap pair of shoes like 4 times throughout the year and you're spending more money than it would cost you to buy one pair of nice shoes.
I don't get the bread one. Never go cheap on these things. Bread,
Yeah.
because once you
Yeah,
go to
it's
like plain white bread, it's a couple dollars a loaf. It's always a couple dollars a loaf. One is just as good as the other if you're not getting fancy.
yeah, but I mean, that begs the question, is any white bread good?
Uh huh. I'm sorry. I like plain bread on a sandwich. I do. Now my favorite's like that milk and honey, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you take the past since before COVID, I bet you I have not eaten an entire loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Just here and there when I cheat, it's just once you're trying to diet, that's just something you stay away from. Also, something I had to stop buying because they got too expensive was bras.
Yeah. You
Uh,
ever use the ones you have?
yeah. I feel sorry for ladies because men's undergarments are cheap. Ladies, not so much, especially bras. They're ridiculously expensive, and I haven't been married in years, so I don't know what a bra costs now. $200? I mean, that's
I don't
crazy.
know.
Yeah. Never cheap out on toilet paper. That's right. That single ply stuff. That's just cruel. It's cruel for people that visit you in the house. It's cruel to use in your business. It's just cruel.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a pretty overarching theme to a lot of these, which is, comfort in general. Like if you move on to like the mattresses or the sheets and top sheets, well, one, top sheets are ridiculous, but sheets in general,
I
uh,
agree with that.
yeah, like who needs that little, I don't know, I've had this argument a bunch of times, but who needs that little thing that always just gets shoved down to the bottom of the bed anyway?
Yeah. Though I
Uh,
use them because I have a cat, and I just know at times that the blanket's probably got too much cat hair on it. So I like the top sheet.
yeah, man. But yes, comfort items. Like if you're going to be using it all the time, you might as well get something that you're going to be comfortable with.
I thought,
And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be expensive, but
yeah.
you just don't want to get the, you know, bottom of the barrel, the one ply version of work boots or the one ply version of mattress.
Though, with the advent of the memory foam mattress or whatever, I think it's pretty easy to find a good mattress without spending a ton of money, especially if you're buying them online. I've got two different ones, and I love them both. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got one from Amazon that I really like, and it was really cool just getting it because I had no experience with it, but it came all shrunk in this roll, and you have to like lay it out and let it expand for a day, and the whole thing was kind of fun.
Yeah. And the nice thing too is with the advent of these, they got rid of the box spring. And these platform beds are awesome. I can't tell the difference between a platform bed and a bed with a box spring anymore. So what a useless item they had us buying for decades and decades and decades. The box spring, pretty much a thing of the past, I think.
The old top sheet of beds,
Yeah.
otherwise known as a top sheet.
All right. I don't get the luggage thing or the vacuum cleaner things. Vacuum cleaners are almost disposable nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a nice vacuum, and it's great. And luggage, like, I guess if you're going on trips all the time, maybe
Yeah.
you'd want something that's going to be sturdy and holds up over the long haul.
Yeah.
But I just, don't get to take more than a couple trips every now and again. And I just have that one, cool rolly one that I have in a bag.
Well, the changes that the airlines do too. Your luggage that you used to use if you're going on a trip might not be allowed anymore because of size changes. So you could have bought, let's say, 15 years ago, a really nice set of luggage for flying, and you haven't flown in a while, and go to the airport, and they're not going to let you check that bag.
I know. Whatever happened to being able to bring your steamer trunk?
Huh. All right, that'd be fun. Just show up with it just for fun.
Yeah.
All right, signs of a hard winter. Will it be a hard winter? We don't know. Here's some signs you can look for, especially if you're old country folk. All right, thicker than normal corn husks. I haven't been checking my corn husks at all. Woodpeckers sharing a tree.
Huh. I actually haven't seen any this year yet, and normally I see a couple. They like to hang out around my house.
If you see two humans sharing a tree, probably going to be a mild winter.
Treehouse.
Strangely enough, I'd probably live in a treehouse if I had one.
Yeah.
All right, early departure of the geese and the ducks. Early migration of the monarch butterfly, which is about ready to hit the endangered species list. Thick hair on the nape of a cow's neck. Got anywhere you can get close to a cow? Check this out for us, Phillip. Come on, you're an Addy. All right.
Yeah.
Raccoons with thick tails and bright bands. Excuse me, could I check your tail? Early arrival of crickets on the hearth. Huh?
I don't even know what that means.
It's kind of a Christmas thing, I guess, but crickets move inside and maybe they like to, get on your fireplace hearth, I guess. I don't know.
What I really need to know is is it a sign if you're getting over 2 stink bugs in your house a day? Does that mean it's going to be a harsh winter?
Ooh.
Or does that mean the opposite? We've been getting crazy stink bug invasion at my house this year.
I like to call them the cockroach of the Northwest.
Yeah, it's like we're under siege.
It's so gross to go up in the top of the mountain in the tower shack. And, I poison around the bottom of it. I poison in the shack itself. But they don't die till, even if they've been exposed, it takes them a while to die, so they still get in. But it's just thousands of dead stink bugs inside the shack. It's so gross. You got to vacuum them all up, and it smells kind of funny. And they make nests out of the bodies of their own dead.
Yeah.
That's gross, too. All right, spiders spinning larger than usual webs and entering the house in great numbers. Signs of a tough winter. Pigs gathering sticks. I need to talk to a pig farmer now. Is that true?
I don't know. Pick up sticks?
Yeah, I guess. All right. Insects marching in line rather than meandering.
No.
Wow, I'm going to have to watch things a lot closer. Unusual abundance of acorns, muskrats burrowing holes higher on the riverbank, and a narrow orange band in the middle of woolly bear caterpillars warns of heavy snow. Fat and fuzzy caterpillars, I guess, mean bitter cold.
Interesting. I did see a caterpillar for the first time in a long time the other day at the golf course.
Was he a big boy?
He was. Yeah.
All right, this is a good one. The next one's a good one for you, Phillip. Weird things people have complained about at restaurants. You can totally relate to this, and if you have maybe some stories of your own, you can flip in there. That'd be cool too.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll get started with a few that are other people's experiences. This one person says, "Where I worked, there was a salad called the Dragon Mandarin Orange, and one day a lady and her husband ordered it, and when it arrived at the table, she picked at the salad with her fork before demanding to see our manager. She complained that she's allergic to anything acidic and didn't want orange in her salad." And the manager pointed out that it's called the Mandarin Orange Salad.
Yeah. At least she didn't complain there was no dragon in it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a vegetarian. Next one. Cut this one. I can personally attest to. The customer complained that after the meal was completely finished that they shouldn't have to pay for the meal because it didn't taste like the picture. Pictures, menus with pictures. Oh, don't get me started. But in a variation of this, just people, not saying anything until they finish their food. Oh, I asked for no mayo. It's like, but you ate the whole thing.
Too late to complain now, right?
Yeah,
They're digging for a discount.
maybe. Next one is a pizza place worker a person that worked at a pizza place that was a sit-down restaurant, but also did pickup and delivery orders. One night, the delivery orders were hopping, but the dining room was slow. Most people in the restaurant understood why it would take just as much time for their food to come out on slow nights as on busy nights. And they were making lots of pizzas for pickup and delivery, but one customer actually said, "Do you mean to tell me that you people are cooking delivery orders before you cook the restaurant orders?" And this is even after the worker explained that they cook pizzas in the order in which they received them. And he felt the dining customer pizzas should be made first.
That doesn't seem fair. First come, first serve pizza. That's what I believe in.
Yeah. Let's see. And then a worker at a Mexican restaurant, a woman ordered a burger with cheese, and I went nuts when she noticed that they used shredded cheese instead of cheese slice. And when we tried to explain that we're a Mexican restaurant and the type of cheese we had on hand is shredded, but she thought it was insane.
Yes, she wanted a pasteurized cheesed product.
Yeah. I actually
Not real cheese.
Always found it interesting that at least any of the ones that I've been to, that any Mexican restaurant generally has a few, like, I don't know, like cheeseburger, for instance. It's like
chicken fingers for the kids, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. If you're going to go to a Mexican restaurant, there's all these great things that you can have. You know, just don't go if you're going to get a cheeseburger. Let's see. We explained that he didn't have an ID and that everyone was required to show ID. The parents said their son was 21 and that should be good enough. And the family was waiting for a connecting flight, so the manager asked the parents, "If your son doesn't have an ID, how do you get on the plane?" And then they ordered him a soda.
That shut him up quick, didn't it?
Yeah, people just straight up lying is that, yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
Why'd you skip the guy who was mad about his chilled potato soup being cold?
Oh, we could do that one.
That's all right. I just did.
Yeah.
And why would anybody want to eat cold potato soup?
I don't know. Isn't there a cold tomato soup? Isn't that gazpacho?
I think so.
Huh. I'm not sure.
All
I think I remember a Simpsons episode about cold tomato soup. But
do you have any weird complaints that stand out in your mind serving people?
You know, lots of them are like the doneness of things. Like certain people like things extra crispy or not very crispy. And, you know, when you're serving a lot of people, you try to make it kind of down the middle so that you can make everybody happy or make the most people happy. But it's also, excuse me, sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Well, stink bug.
Well, you got somebody in the house? I think I just swallowed one. Ew. Ew. That's like, have you ever seen your cat sniff a stink bug?
No.
That's a precious moment. Because they've got the oil on the end of their nose and they can't get rid of it. I mean, I felt so bad for my cat when I saw her. She sniffed a stink bug, and wow, she just went. It was like she got pepper sprayed. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, well, go sniff a stink bug and see how you enjoy it.
No thanks.
Or have you ever went to catch one and you got some of it on your finger and you can't wash it off? It's like you've got gasoline on you. It's pretty potent stuff.
No, I don't touch them.
All right, well, let's find out what we got for trivia today.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Oh, yeah, it's Scott versus Phillip today, or Phillip versus Scott.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
I think I've got far more than you do, so I'll start first, Phillip, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, 78% of adults who say they are confused by these in the grocery store.
Self-checkout.
No.
Hmm.
Go to the aisles.
I don't see them anymore, but those little coupon dispensers.
What am I supposed to do with this? No, that's not it either. Something far more simple.
The freezer doors.
It's on every product that you buy.
The price.
The label.
Uh,
Yeah, food labels. People confused by food labels. All right. Hit me.
The average college student spends 2 hours a day doing this. Man, that's open-ended.
Wow.
But
Surfing the internet for non-school stuff.
I'll take it. Using social media.
There you go. There you go. Huh?
2 hours seems a little light.
Yeah, it does. I get distracted, and it's really hard before the morning show because I'll be looking for news stories to, briefly cover, and I'll get caught up on one. It's like, oh, look what happened to this person, and so I'm like, oh, get back to work, quick. You only have 40 minutes. All right. Let's see. Just over half of adults surveyed said they would rather have jury duty than give this up for a week. What would they be giving up?
Their phone.
No, sir.
Soda.
You're getting warmer.
Chocolate.
No.
Coffee.
There you go. Yeah. Who'd want to give up that?
Nobody.
You'd really have to tempt me. I mean, you'd really have to bribe me to give up coffee.
Better be some sweet jury duty.
Yes.
I'll tell you that.
Yes. All right. What else you got for me?
According to a survey, 23% of people have done what at work?
Survey, 23% of people have done what at work?
It's
Shopped online.
no, it's something that's, let's see, how do you describe it? It's something that you people are sometimes embarrassed about, and it's, I don't know,
A
something
fart?
personal, something that's up at you, something that happens when you're upset.
Oh, cried?
Yeah.
Wow, 23%.
Cried.
Oh, actually, I think I've seen quite a bit of that throughout my life.
Yeah. I mean, stuff happens.
Yeah. Let's see. 55% of adults believe that they have been helped by what?
What percentage?
55% of adults believe they have been helped by what?
Helped by I need a hint.
I don't know what to give you for a hint.
Tony Robbins.
It's something that they cannot prove, but they believe they've been helped by it.
Aliens.
You're getting warmer.
Religion.
So, I almost wrecked my car, but I saw something the last minute. I was helped by my
I don't know.
guardian angel.
Dun,
Dun, dun. Apparently you don't have one, Phillip. Or if you did, they would have helped you with that question.
Maybe.
Oh. All right. Anything else for me?
Yeah, the breakfast bingo is always fun. Let's do that.
Let's do breakfast bingo.
Okay, you're familiar. All the answers will spell out bingo in order, and if you need to know how that's spelled, it's BINGO.
Thank you for that.
The first question: some are publicly owned, some are privately owned, but we all work for one.
We all work for one. Business?
Yeah,
That was too easy. But not everybody
Yeah.
might work for one. They might own their own business, so that's not fair. Okay.
I know.
All right.
Semantics. It's Apple's communication device.
The iPhone.
Yes. Boxers can get these if they're hit on the face.
Nosebleed. Yeah, you're trying to give me a hint.
Hey, just because you're not my guardian angel. Let's see. On a golf course, the flag sits in a hole that's cut into what?
The ground?
Ooh, close. What color is that ground?
The green.
Bingo.
All right. It's both right, though. Come on. And both began with G.
All right. And the last one, the field of study concentrated on pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum period is a tough one.
You know, I know like the doctor would be like an obstetrician or something like that.
Yeah, so I'll give that to you. It's obstetrics.
Obstetrics. That's a tough one. Yeah, I wouldn't have got
Yeah.
that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Funner for you. Answer wrong and win. Like this.
All right. I'm
All right.
ready.
All right. They're tough though. All right.
Okay.
What do you use to wipe a runny nose?
Sandpaper.
It's the same thing I would have chose. Ow. Ow.
One ply tissue.
We already covered that. All right. What you put into and then a fire. What you put into and then fire out of guns.
Potatoes.
Ooh. An event you'd see at the Olympics.
Beer pong.
I was thinking like hopscotch. Something you can deduct from your taxes.
Ice skating lessons.
Ooh. Something you might do while vacationing at a lake. You can use the same one again? I don't know.
Something you might use a vacation or save on. Wait, what was it? Save on.
Something you might do while vacationing at a lake.
Easy. Look for Loch Ness monsters.
Okay. And answer wrong and win. Something you would keep in your car's glove box.
Mad Dog 2020.
Wow. I was thinking a shotgun. So, shotgun
A
and
small
Mad
shotgun.
Dog. That's extra scary. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I found one that I'd accidentally skipped. Let's see if I can find it real quick before we go to break. Rules for being human. Nope, that's not it. This would be too tough to follow.
I don't understand.
I don't understand at all. I guess I lost it. All right, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have a celebrity birthdays through the weekend. We do a little bit of weekend history, all the goofy holidays that are extra goofy. All right. And then we wrap it all up with today's odd news. So stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. It's Scott and Phillip on a Friday, and this is KCHW 102.7, and we will be right back. Stay right here.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW Shubila.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Some scientists predict a COVID-19 winter wave as variants emerge and immunity wanes. Carrie Henning-Smith at the University of Minnesota says it's a particular concern for rural Americans. Less than a third opted for a booster.
Both the original COVID vaccine series and the rates of uptake of boosters make it even worse for rural residents and make mortality rates even higher.
Overall, death rates from all causes in rural counties are 36% higher than urban areas. Henning-Smith says there are many reasons for this, including pre-existing conditions and the gap in broadband access. Most education about boosters occurred online, and for those without internet, many remained unaware of their options.
Rural areas have a variety of other risk factors that make mortality more likely, and those include older age structure, reduced access to health care, and more underlying health conditions.
For those who can work anywhere, small towns that tell their story well have an edge in attracting newcomers. Xander Brown has more.
It takes more than a logo and a slogan to attract virtual workers to rural communities. Will Ketchum, president of North Star Place Branding and Marketing, says it's about telling a story that emphasizes the uniqueness of their town.
Smaller rural communities have to fight harder for their share of the pie.
In addition to attracting new residents, Ketchum believes community branding helps strengthen the morale and pride of those who already live there. And that spirit resonates.
People are looking for something more meaningful, something bigger to life than, the hamster wheel every day in the big city.
I'm Xander Brown.
Crystal Cornelius is this year's winner of the Heinz Award for the Economy that comes with $250,000 in unrestricted funds. A member of the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin, as well as the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians, Cornelius works in North Dakota as a tribal planner who writes grants, finds, and distributes resources for everything from nursing homes to wind energy development.
I feel very, very honored to be able to help hundreds of Native communities, either with capital or technical assistance, to change the economic landscape of their respective communities.
As the country transitions to cleaner energy sources, a Native tribe from Washington State has brought a cultural icon to Washington, D.C. to call for environmental justice, a totem pole from the Lummi Nation. Douglas James is with Lummi Nation's House of Tears Carvers.
It's going to take every one of us, everybody that's living and breathing upon this planet, to try and do the best that we can to stand and make a difference.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
Northern Lights Public Radio is 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Deer Park, Colville.
Welcome to 2022 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
The federal war on drugs and mandatory minimums have gotten far out of control. They are not connected to reality.
The White House announced a pardon for all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. Brian Winters, with a nonpartisan super PAC and American Union, says most Americans believe the war on drugs has failed.
In a poll last year, 65% supported ending the war on drugs, and 63% supported reviewing and reducing the sentences of anyone incarcerated as a result of the war on drugs.
President Joe Biden also encouraged governors to take similar action for state-level offenses. Biden has faced backlash for his support of the 1994 crime bill that led to increased arrest and incarceration rates for drug crimes, especially for people of color. U.S. warships are training with South Korean and Japanese destroyers to shoot down missiles in the Sea of Japan, following multiple launches by North Korea this week. Defense Department spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder condemned the launches.
We will continue to consult closely with our allies and partners and stand ready to respond appropriately to any potential future provocative acts by North Korea.
He also warned that North Korea could soon conduct its first nuclear test since 2017. Republican Senator Ben Sasse is expected to step down in the coming months after being named the sole finalist for the presidency of the University of Florida. Sasse was among those of the GOP who voted to convict President Donald Trump during his 2021 impeachment. However, he supported Trump's position on votes 95% of the time. During campaign stops Thursday, Republican Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker continued to deny allegations that he paid for an abortion for one of his children's mothers.
The Democrats are desperate for this seat. This seat is important. They're very desperate for this seat. I love my family. I always love my family. I'm going to win this race.
Walker, who's running on an anti-abortion platform, is in a tight race with Democratic incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock. Speaking at a church, Warnock asked pastors to encourage their congregations to vote.
You cannot tell them who to vote for, and you look at my race, you don't even need to tell them. As we say in the hood, they know.
Some of the country's youngest voters are keeping a close eye on national and global issues ahead of the election. A survey found 86% of Gen Z voters felt the midterms would have an impact on their lives, and 43% felt it would be an even greater impact than the 2024 presidential election. Proud Boys member Jeremy Bertino pleaded guilty to seditious conspiracy. Meanwhile, the leader of the group and 4 members face the same charge related to the January 6 attack at the Capitol and await trial. And the House committee investigating January 6 has scheduled its final hearing for 1 p.m. next Thursday. No details about witnesses or topics have been released. I'm Mary Sherman for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our A-Trust indicators to support transparency and accuracy at publicnewsservice.org.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Thanks for being with us this morning online and on the radio. We'll start off with some look at celebrity birthdays going through the weekend. First one up, looks like we've got a musical artist there, Phillip.
We've got, let's see. You said celebrity, right?
Yes.
TV personality Joy Behar.
Yeah.
Is 80. We got John Mellencamp, 71. Vladimir Putin is 70.
Boo. Boo.
Boo. Yo-Yo Ma is 67. Simon Cowell is 63. And Sean Ashmore is 42.
All right.
Going into Saturday, we've got Chevy Chase is 79. R.L. Stein is 79. Sigourney Weaver is 73. Daryl Hammond is 67. Dylan Neal is 53. Matt Damon is 52. Nick Cannon's 42. And Bella Thorne is 25. And on to Sunday, we've got Jackson Brown turning 74. Sharon Osbourne is 70. Scott Bakula is 68. John O'Hurley is 68. Guillermo del Toro is 58. Steve Burns is 49. And Tyler James Williams is 30. And that's it.
All right. Just a few highlights out of history. We'll start off with today. A Motion Picture Association adopted the film rating system in 1968. Apparently nothing happened before 1968. Let's see. Also, we have 1982. Cats opened on Broadway. It would run for nearly 18 years before closing on September 10th of 2000. The year was 1996. Fox News Channel made its debut. Let's see, 2001, U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. How about a fun one? 2006, Chinese man wanted by police on gun charges gave himself up after hiding in a cave constructed at the back of his house for 8 years. Oh, wow. Man, I've always wanted to live in a... Yeah, I know. I wanted to live in a cave for so long. 35-year-old man had tunneled the cave out of a hill behind the bedroom of his house and had put a wardrobe in front of the entrance as a disguise. Man left the cave during the day to read, wash, and watch television in the house, but went back in at night. He told his wife he was hiding from debt collectors. Gave himself up to police after no longer being able to cope with the psychological pressure of living in a cave.
I wonder if they're even like actively looking for him.
Probably not. Let's see. 2016 on this day, a Washington Post released video of Donald Trump boasting of groping and kissing women without their consent. Oh.
Classy.
Yeah. He kind of got away and missed that whole Me Too movement. Got off scot-free. On to Saturday's history. 1818, two English boxers became the first to use padded gloves. Wow, it must have really hurt bad before that, huh? Wow.
Yeah, what, bare knuckle?
Ouch. Have you ever been punched by a bare-knuckled hand?
Yep.
How many times?
A lot.
Ow, I'm not going to ask how. I'm sorry. Let's see. 2001, President Bush, George W. Bush, announced the establishment of the Office of Homeland Security. Let's see. 2019, FBI confirmed Samuel Little, America's most prolific serial killer. And also 2020, FBI charged 13 men with plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and storm the Michigan Capitol. On to history for Sunday. 1888, the Washington Monument opened to the general public. All right. To 1917, Clarence Saunders patented the self-service grocery store. He called it Piggly Wiggly. Just nothing to do with groceries.
I don't know, but that's just a fun name.
Right. It was not
kudos.
Piggly Wiggly. Fun to say. 1946, first electric blanket. 1946. It was sold in Petersburg, Virginia for $39.50. That was huge. Hugely expensive for the day. Wow. Like buying a car. 1973, Elvis and Priscilla were divorced in Santa Monica, California. She got $1.5 million in cash and $4,200 a month in alimony, plus 5% interest in two publishing companies. The couple left the courthouse arm in arm and kissed before Elvis drove away without her.
Thanks for that fact.
That's awesome. All right. I'm going to skip the rest of them because they're all way too depressing. We'll go on to something a little funner, and it's Goofy Holidays. Take us through the weekend, Phillip.
We have got, for Friday, we've got National Denim Day.
What do you call what's a Canadian tuxedo?
Yeah, wearing all denim.
Yes, so you got like the denim jacket, the denim shirt, some jeans. You got a Canadian tuxedo. Sorry.
Yeah. National Diversity Day, Flower Day, Forgiveness and Happiness Day, Frappe Day, Inner Beauty Day, and World Smile Day.
And a frappe, that's a type of coffee, right? What makes it a frappe?
I don't know. Some sort of frothing, I think.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. I need to be a barista.
Steam the milk. I'm not sure. Right. I could never get a job doing coffee. If I didn't skip a day, I think Saturday we have Touch Tag Day.
That is now a game that you cannot play as adults.
Interesting.
I guess if you signed a release, it'd probably be okay.
Would we just call it Tag Day?
No, it's Touch Tag Day.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
International African Penguin Awareness Day.
Okay.
International Lesbian Day. Newspaper Carrier Day. Off-Road Day. Chess Day. Fluffernutter Day. Also a fun name. Motorcycle Ride Day. Pierogi Day. Universal Music Day. World Hospice and Palliative Care Day. And World Octopus Day.
World Octopus Day is a day I can really wrap my arms around.
Oh.
Fluffernutter, any idea?
It is. Oh man, I want to say that it is. I don't know.
National Fluffernutter Day is today or tomorrow when we fondly pay homage to childhood sandwich of peanut butter and marshmallow fluff squished between two pieces of bread.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
Okay, and for Sunday we've got Fire Prevention Day, International Beer and Pizza Day, Leif Erikson Day, Moldy Cheese Day.
People eat that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sneakers Day, Pastor Appreciation Day, and Submarine Hoagie Hero Grinder Day.
All right. Number for your day is 85, and that's the countries and territories where the United States has military bases. 85. Wow. All right. Moving along this morning, I'm going to go ahead and do, it is the weekend. I like to do what's at the movie theaters. And after looking them over today, I feel a little bit better about this weekend's movie. It's been a long run of really, really lame stuff. Where's all the blockbusters? We never saw them this summer. I mean, they ended with like Thor, Love and Thunder, which didn't have any love or thunder, but it did have screaming yaks.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, the yaks. Yeah, spoiler alert, best part of the movie is the yaks. They're totally awesome.
But I liked all the other ones.
All the other Thor movies. This one I thought lacked a little, but like I said, the highlight of all of it for me was the screaming yaks. I mean, and in fact, at the very end of the movie, I was disappointed that there was not one like really loud yak scream before it was over with.
Yeah, once they figured out that Thor was best used as like a pseudo comedy.
Yeah,
like it really hit its stride.
Oh, when you see him like all fat.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a total highlight. All right, let's see. I think I can do this perhaps quickly. I have to cover up your face for a second there on the camera, but I think people need to hear this. Mostly. Here we go. That, my friends, is a flying yak scream, and also what I'll be wearing for Halloween. All right. In theaters and streaming this weekend. First up, Amsterdam. In the 1930s, three friends witness a murder, are framed for it, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. It's Amsterdam in theaters this weekend. For the kids, Lyle, Lyle, Cock Crocodile. Film features is based on a children's book about a crocodile that lives in New York City. Mm-hmm. Significant Other, debuting on Paramount Plus this weekend, follows a young couple who take a remote backpacking trip through the Pacific Northwest and face sinister events, leading them to realize that everything about the Pacific Northwest is not as it seems. Little visit to Chihuahua. The Triangle of Sadness. Wow. Cruise for the super rich sinks, thus leaving survivors, including a fashion model celebrity couple, trapped on an island. All right. Lucky for us, it's only in limited theaters. Also in limited theaters, Project Wolf Hunting follows dangerous criminals on a cargo ship who are transported from the Philippines to South Korea as they unleash a sinister force after an escape attempt leads to a riot. Wow, sounds busy. Tar in limited theaters. Set in the international world of classical music, this film centers on Lydia Tarr, widely considered one of the greatest living composer, conductors, and first ever female chief conductor of a major German orchestra. And then on Hulu, the reboot, just in time for Halloween, of Hellraiser. It's a take on Clive Barker's 1987 horror classic where a young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that its purpose is to summon the Cenobites. Oh, scary. Luckiest Girl Alive on Netflix. A woman in New York who seems to have things under control is faced with a trauma that makes her life unravel. So Hellraiser, if I back up, excuse me, there was about 8 of those or so. Did you ever watch any of them?
It's funny because I really love the scary horror genre, But no, I haven't seen any of them.
Isn't that the guy with all the needles or nails in his head?
Yeah, Pinhead.
Yeah. That never attracted me at all.
Yeah.
All right. Catherine called Birdie on Prime. It's a 14-year-old girl in medieval England navigates through life and avoiding potential suitors her father has in mind for her. That sounds horrible. All right. Masking Threshold, conducting a series of experiments in his makeshift home lab. A skeptic IT worker tries to cure his harrowing hearing impairment. Huh. This is probably mostly subtitled.
Video on demand.
It's a bad joke. Bad joke, Scott. And lastly, I have Project Legion. A young man trapped in his apartment with a swarm of demons outside his door must find a way to survive the night and escape from apartment 213. Which, strangely enough, is the number of my apartment. Oh.
Also, that's a room from The Shining, right?
Yeah. Oh, is it? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, Netflix to give Knives Out a sequel, 1 week run in theaters. It's revealed it'll release the Knives Out sequel, which was kind of a surprise hit movie in 600 theaters for a limited 1 weekend engagement coming up Thanksgiving. Let's see what else is coming up in entertainment. Henry Cavill, this is totally unneeded. Superman sequel reportedly in development. Henry Cavill and his fans have been advocating for his return as DC Superman for a long time, but it wasn't until this week they learned it may be happening. Industry Insider claims that Cavill will be back as Superman and that Dwayne Johnson may have had a hand in pushing Warner Brothers to get things going. There's a rumor that Superman makes an appearance in Johnson's upcoming superhero flick, Black Adam. All right. So there's rumors of a couple maybe new blockbuster movies coming out. Although I don't think DC's ever pulled off a really, really good Superman movie.
Yeah. I mean, outside of a couple of the Batman movies, I think they have struggled mightily.
All right. We got a few extra minutes before we head for Odd News. Let's check out news and nuggets for some of the lighter stories of the day. Biden, we'll cover this one again. Biden announced Thursday that everyone convicted on federal marijuana possession charges is in for a pardon. Officials estimate that more than 6,500 Americans were convicted of possession from 1992 to 2021. And you're saying, well, that number's really low, but that was federal. All right, just federal ones that they were charged for. So probably people that got arrested maybe for smoking pot at a national park, something like that.
Yeah.
The decision constitutes a major step forward to decriminalizing marijuana in keeping with 2020 campaign pledge. Biden called on governors to do the same, and it'll take an act of Congress, though, to decriminalize it. Phillip, any stories that are catching your eye? Is that a no?
No, I don't think so. Although the headline about the guy eats your tomatoes is funny.
Go ahead.
Men who love tomatoes may have lowered odds of suffering a stroke. Finnish researchers found that of more than 1,000 older men, they followed those with relatively high blood levels and of the antioxidant lycopene were less likely to have a stroke over a dozen years. Not as good a payoff as the headline.
All right.
Guy eats your tomatoes.
So there's a thing out there on the internet you see a lot. It's called TIOTWALKI, which is an acronym for the end of the world as we know it. And that brings in like emergency food. And here's a story on that. With so much uncertainty in the world today and daily doses of scary headlines from cable news, it's no wonder that Costco's emergency food supply bucket continues to sell very well. $99 bucket includes 78 entrees and side servings, 28 breakfast servings, and 44 drink servings. Whether you're affected by weather, emergency, job loss, or food shortage, and freeze-dried and dehydrated foods will be there because they last up to 25 years and are ready in minutes when you add water. And as I said, the bucket is just $99. And I think there's probably a lot of people in Florida that wish they would have had a bucket or two.
Yeah.
Or three.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. They look goofy walking down the road, but what are the benefits of power walking, Phillip?
Walking every day can have the risk or stroke. Of a risk or stroke. I don't think that's right. Risk of stroke. But only if you step up the pace. Danish scientists found intensity of exercise matters far more than duration. They studied the health of 4,000 people for a decade, and those who went on a fast walk daily had half the chance of having a heart attack or stroke as those who didn't. But those who said they walked for an hour at leisurely pace had just the same risk as those who are largely inactive. That's crazy.
So just really swing the arms.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, I would think that, there had to be some benefit of, walking at a leisurely pace as instead of just doing nothing. But apparently scientists say no.
Huh. I don't know if I believe that one. It's like trying to talk people into not walking. That's just weird. All right. I had no idea that baristas or people at fast food chains hate the pay it forward thing. Doing a kind deed for others is usually a good thing, but in certain situations, it could inadvertently make things worse for others involved. And according to a former Starbucks barista, pay it forward chains are one of those things that employees would like you to stop. In a video, they explained to viewers why it's best to break the chain. Pay it forward lines are a simple concept, they say. One customer gets to the register to drive through and offers to pay for the person behind them, thus inciting a chain of customers paying for one another. The problem, Tiffany, this TikToker, says the baristas aren't being tipped on the orders that are being paid for, losing out on valuable money when working a service job. So if you're going to pay it forward with a tip, I guess. All right. Oh, I got a tip for you. Buckle up.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, it's the world of stupid people and stupid criminals in the news. And we always start off with the news attack, where the first sentence a true statement and the second one a big bad joke. And Phillip kicking it off once again for us.
A woman in Spain faces charges that she tried to sell her newborn to an undercover police officer. Wow. Hello. Don't sell your kid face to face. That's what Craigslist is for.
Either way, you're getting arrested, I guess.
Yeah.
Survey finds 23% of adults have cried at work. We heard about this earlier. Yeah. Here's a tip for bosses. If one of your top 5 office expensive is Kleenex, you probably need to do some additional management training. Maybe a better work environment.
Yeah. A couple of Russians who didn't want to join the country's military sailed 300 miles to Alaska. No word yet on if they'll be allowed to stay in the U.S. It depends. If they think of the NFL when you say football, then they can stay.
Researchers say a 2019 study that said our alcohol intake should be 0 is wrong. Wow, here you go. Especially since we have no other way to make it through staying at the in-laws over the holidays.
Science tells us that the occasional drink with dinner may reduce the risk of having a stroke. As always, they advise limiting your intake to 1 drink. Anything more than that, you run the risk of getting drunk and telling your wife what her cooking really tastes like, which increases your chance of being impaled on a butter knife.
Used to have that book by Jack Handy called Deep Thoughts. Came from Saturday Night Live. And one of my favorites was Marta got really upset, and these were just like little poem things. And it was, Marta got really upset when I used the word vomit at the dinner table. But to me, that's the way her food tasted. All right, if you haven't heard, let's do it again. President Biden on Thursday pardoned thousands of people convicted of marijuana possession under federal law, which means Phillip will be able to enjoy Thanksgiving at his in-laws without his father-in-law making fun of his ankle monitor. Oh,
And
man.
that's always a problem. All my in-laws, they're crazy.
Oh,
Don't get me started.
Oh, wait a minute. You're not married. You've never been married.
True.
You need some adopted in-laws.
Yeah. According to a study on obesity and eating disorders, the simple act of weighing yourself every day helps prevent you from regaining lost pounds. And if you do gain weight, swearing at, stomping on, and tossing your talking scale can help you lose them.
Oh. So since my cats had health problems, I got a new scale. And after slight coaxing, and me being on the scale all the time and checking myself every morning, now when I'm in the bathroom, the cat, will come in and watch like they like to do, but she will sit on the scale so I can just automatically check her weight. It's awesome.
It is cool.
Yeah, she just comes and sits there like, okay, my turn. All right, let's see. It's Nobel Prize time, and it looks like I've been snubbed again for my achievements in riding lawnmowers and coolers. Yeah, because I do have a cooler attached to the back of the riding lawnmower. Just saying. Let's move on to wacky but true. We don't add any jokes to these because they're totally self-contained, but you might get a movie sound effect. And here comes Phillip, wacky but true.
Hunters know the hazards of not wearing blaze orange, and hunters know the dangers of brush hunting, meaning hearing a noise in the brush and shooting in that direction, thinking it's a game animal. In Vermont, a 35-year-old was shot in the belly while walking to a deer stand by Alex Gadet, who thought he was shooting at a bear. Neither hunter was wearing blaze orange, and the victim is expected to make full recovery. The shooter is facing felony charges of aggravated assault and negligent use of a gun, as well as misdemeanor charge for reckless endangerment.
The beginning of that sounds funny. Remember, when you hear a noise in the woods, turn and shoot.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sorry, I don't speak bear.
It's an accident. Didn't mean it.
So I'm assuming they don't know each other.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to be friends now either.
No.
Here's two more men in California. These two were arrested for theft Monday night in Merced County. Deputies were called to a property for a report of trespassing. When they arrived, they spoke to a man who said that people were stealing watermelons from his field. Deputies say they witnessed a car leaving the field and were able to stop it. They found 57 watermelons in the back seat and trunk of the car. The men were arrested, and the watermelons returned to the victim.
I wonder what they needed all those watermelons for.
Have a stomachache. Maybe they thought they were going to do their own fruit stand. All right, I've got a couple for this one, I think.
We three kings be stealing the gold.
Okay. It's just watermelon.
You filthy criminal.
Yeah, all right. Back to you, Phillip.
A team of police explosives experts in Japan rushed to the scene of a suspicious package in a parking lot. The bomb squad blocked roads and sidewalks within a 1,000-foot radius of an unattended silver briefcase. After close examination, the team found adult goods inside the briefcase. With quotations. Adult goods.
Adult goods. When I got caught with those, I said this.
That's not mine. I'm telling you, baby, that's not mine. I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
So I said, they're Phillips.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. New York City man has been charged with smuggling at a U.S.-Canadian border crossing. Calvin Bautista is accused of bringing snakes on a bus. No more of those snakes on a bus. They crossed into northern New York. The snakes were actually hidden, of course. Where would they be hidden? Where are you going to hide all those snakes? Your pants. In your pants.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
No report if he was bitten.
I wonder how many.
It's a challenge. How many break the world's record? How many snakes can you get in your pants?
TikTok challenge.
All right.
In Florida, a woman who was upset over a traffic ticket went down to the police station to complain. And it was while she was giving the officer on duty a piece of her mind that he noticed a familiar aroma. When the officer asked her about it, she told him, yes, she had some marijuana on her, and she had been selling it at a nearby mall.
At least she's honest. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Is it legal in Florida? I don't know. All right.
I don't know.
Probably the police station, not the place to do that.
Marijuana is a narcotic, medically and legally. It never did anybody any good and does everybody a lot of harm.
All right. That was a cop from the 60s. All right. A woman in the UK says she bit into a burger at a Burger King, chicken royale with bacon. So I guess it really wasn't a burger. And she was shocked to discover a wooden pencil. Woman said she called the restaurant to tell them what she found, and an employee told her not to worry. It was only a grease pencil they used to mark the burger wrappers. She was able to get a refund. A spokesman for Burger King UK said, we apologize for the impact this incident has caused and have investigated this matter appropriately.
Yeah. It's only a grease pencil.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah. It's made from the same stuff their burgers are.
Well, what does that taste like?
And the last one coming from Phillip.
A woman in Poland went to let her dog out when she saw a man trying to break into her car. Wearing just a coat and underwear, she chased the thief with her phone in her hand. She called the cops while running, and they arrived in minutes and got her car back.
Oh. Huh. Who steals a car without pants?
I don't know. I read it as she was wearing just a coat and underwear.
Oh. Huh.
But, I mean, good on her if she was chasing a moving car and calling the cops.
With a coat and underwear. Where does she keep her phone?
In her hand.
Oh.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
And in case it was a guy.
Forget about it? You mean rip it from my memory like a picture from a book? Picture of a small boy. Kind of shy. With big ears who only wanted to be liked. And the laughing faces of his classmates mocking him because he forgot to wear his pants to school. Is that what you mean?
Anger management problems there. One more about pants. Yes? Say yes, Phillip.
Yep.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
And there you go. That is our show for today. Big round of applause. Thanks to Phillip Dutton for showing up for the Finally Friday show. Whoop, whoop. Hoping we have the return, and she's recovered by next week, and we have the return of Michelle Williams to the morning show. She's still recovering from that big event last week, and getting like into the swing of fall things there at the radio station. We got a big membership drive coming up, so be looking for that for more details. And don't forget to support public radio. Phillip, any words of wisdom as we head out?
Mariners kick off their playoff today at 1:00. They're playing in Toronto.
Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah, into the 21-year drought.
Ooh.
It's over.
All right.
That's also, as I'm sure you always like to say, the farmers market is today.
Yes, don't forget. And then you've got the Chamber of Commerce annual auction starting at 4:30 on Saturday. And Mariners, have you heard the new song?
No.
This is their
I can't wait.
drought-ending song for the Mariners.
Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town.
Yeah. Well, not really a song, but it's what they're going to do. All right, have a great weekend. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio, and we leave you with this.
The world has gotten even stranger than you already know.
At this point, I doubt anything would surprise me.
$10 says you're wrong.
I'd bet on that. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.